Welcome to the Voice Coach Podcast, here for all your speaking voice training and guidance. My name is Nic Redman, and I am offering you all sorts of nuggets of wisdom on how to keep your voice in good working order and a true representation of who you are. So if you're a podcaster, presenter, actor, speaker, or voiceover artist, or a general voice geek, you're in good hands. Shall we get started? Well, howdy voice pal, coming at you this week with a prop-related episode. That's right. Last time we did SOVT, or semi-occluded vocal tract exercise work. I explained what that was about, how that could help, etc. And one of the things that came up was straw phonation. So here's a little bit on straw phonation. Now, it's really hot right now. Like, loads of people are developing straws and there's lots going on. And disclaimer, some people love it. Some people don't think it's necessary. If you like a gadget and you like having a little play, then go for it, because loads of people think it's great. And I certainly do find when I do it with clients, it makes them feel nice in the voice area. So, basically when it's done correctly, all the benefits from general SOVT work apply here when we're talking about voicing through a straw. So like, it helps with the ease of phonation or voicing. It can help with connection to lower abdominal support. It can encourage good vocal fold alignment and adduction, which is a fancy term for closure. And it can encourage an efficient and regulated subglottic air pressure. And what does this do for my voice though, Nick? Well, dear listener, basically it can help with reducing vocal fatigue. Yay! So it's brilliant during like a long day of audiobook narration or podcast batch recording or business meetings. It can also really help with vocal recovery after a particularly heavy session of game voicing efforts and, 67 takes of you being punched in the face by an ogre or whatever. And it can also improve your use of breath and vocal variety when speaking. Oh, it's also really good actually for settling the nerves, because it focuses on the out breath, which, I'm a big fan of. So you can do various things with the straw. I'm going to offer 3 basic ways to get started. There are links to the 2 straws that I use in the show notes. Big up Oren Boder of SOVT Straw, which is a super psychedelic disco style straw that lengthens and shortens and changes diameter like magic. And also Mindy Pack of the Voice Straw, whose little pack comes with a wonderful variety of different lengths and diameters of straw, because those things can have an effect. So basically, the longer a straw, the slightly higher the pressure. The shorter the straw, the lower the pressure. And the bigger the diameter, the lower the pressure, and the smaller the diameter, the higher the pressure. So depending on what you need to use the straw for, whether you're using it for rehab and you want something slightly easier, and cool downs, you want something slightly easier, or if you want to use it to get your voice going and really connect with that support before you get on stage or on the mic or what have you, then that's going to affect the length and the diameter of the straw that you choose. But you can also just pick any old feckin' straw and just blow into it. So you can make this as super sciencey, geeky, nerdy, complicated as you want, or you can just use your straw from insert takeaway here and give it an old blow. So we're going to talk about 2 stages: doing straw work in water and doing straw work out of water. And there's going to be 3 little exercises for within those 2 stages. So the first is just air for familiarity and exploration and getting used to the feel of it. Then there's a single note in tone, nice and buzzy. And then there's a pitch glide up and down your vocal range like a siren, but with the straw, and that's all nice buzzy too. So this is the point where you can either go, oh, I need to find a straw, and put me on pause and go grab a straw from somewhere and a glass or bottle half full of water. And if you've already got that because you knew I'd be talking about it and giving you exercises, then fair play. Off we go. So the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to take a drink because I always do. Some things never change. A little bit of frozen there. Right, so you're going to pop your straw kind of about 1 centimetre under the water. Apologies if you hear any ding ding, because I'm doing it in my bottle. And you're just going to gently blow air in. So what you'll hopefully hear is some nice bubbles. Let's get in it. Just notice how it feels down at vocal fold level. If anything at this stage, because it's just air, but it's interesting to bring your focus down there in preparation for when we start making noise. Now, you don't need to blow forever, it's not a competition. Just stop when you need to breathe and let another breath in. And we're really aiming for nice, gentle bubbles that are consistent in size, that don't spit you in the face or the chest or the crotch or wherever your water may have landed. Warning, this episode may require a towel. It's nice, though, isn't it? Then what you're going to do, step 2, is get a kind of a gentle, buzzy, unforced sound on the go at lip level. I like the w. Some people like a v. Songs there's lots of vibration going, and then pop the straw in and get one gentle intoned note, buzzy on the go. And how are your bubbles now? Is there any change in those? Do they get more frenetic or big or spitty? And also notice what you can feel down in the laryngeal area. What a lot of people experience is almost a feeling of like an opening of space. Sometimes that can feel like a release. Sometimes it feels like an expansion. Some people talk about feeling a bit like a frog, so as if they're a frog who's about to ribbit, and the big double chin kind of bit sticks out. That's the proper frog-related term, double chinny bit. Give it one more go on that single note. And you hear mine's quite low. I could try a higher one. Then the third step is gliding up and down your pitch range. So very similar to a siren or a lip trill, that or but this time with your buzzy sound. The other thing to mention is that make sure your lips aren't really tense around the straw, because sometimes the desire is to clamp down on the straw, and that kind of defeats some of the purpose in terms of this being easy and free. So just notice again how that feels at laryngeal level, checking in that lips are loosely pursed and that you're getting that lovely big buzzy feeling, and that everything is staying easy. So we're keeping this really easy, as we do with nearly all of our voice work when it comes to spoken voice. Feels really nice though. Basically, the bubbles are really great for, from my point of view anyway, and my experience with clients, if you've not done straw phonation before, popping it in water and seeing those bubbles is really great for visual and kinesthetic feedback of what's happening here. So if you're not used to noticing your airflow in terms of regulation for working on consistency of airflow or pressure of airflow, then you can measure it more easily because you can see the bubbles. So, you can see if your bubbles are going mad and popping all over the place, then you may have a clue that your airflow is a little inconsistent and you might need a little bit of focused supporting work on, support. That's why I like them anyway. And it also gives you the chance to sort of increase or decrease the intensity of the exercises because, like I said, in terms of the length of the straw and the diameter of the straw often being changeable depending on the intensity of the exercise you want, the further into the water you go, the higher the back pressure you'll get. So you can play around with this exercise. If it's for rehab or cool down purposes, then keep the straw not too far in the water. But if you want to do something to get your voice a bit more energized and ready to rock, then get the straw a wee bit further down. For now though, if you're new, have a little play at when you're bubbling. Every day I'm bubbling. Pop the straw a little bit further down and then a little bit further up and just move up and down through the water like this. Let's see, just check. There we go. So the pressure changes, and what I feel at laryngeal level is the exercise gets a little bit harder the further into the water I go. And what you can find is go up and down a little bit for now, and you'll find a little sort of sweet spot that just feels right for your voice at the moment. So stick in there. The other thing about the water resistance is that it increases the intraoral pressure, or the pressure of the air going back onto the vocal folds from the top down, which helps with the consistency of the subglottic air pressure, or the air coming up from the lungs. So you're getting the vocal folds oscillating in a nice even way with minimal effort. So that's the water. You can also do the same exercises out of the water. So let's try that. Tap, tap, tap. Who knew blowing into a straw would be such good audio entertainment, hey folks? And it's actually doing it outside of the water is much more convenient for some people, depending on their environment, which is totally fine. A lot of my clients are like, where am I going to find a bottle of water or a pint of water from right now? Thanks very much, Nick, which I get. Although, I'm always saying stay hydrated. So there's an argument to say you could probably have a bottle of water. But look, if you don't want to, then you can just do this way. So it's the same 3 stages, just air, then single note, then gliding up and down. This air is going to be the best 30 seconds of air time in the world. That's the bit I'm going to enter for the podcast awards. And what you can do is really feel your belly drawing in on your out breath there, just to kind of connect with that lower support mechanism. Then the next thing you can do is that single note in tone. So find your buzzy. And what's interesting is you can really feel when your airflow is right and wrong. Like even today, I've had such a long day of talking. To be honest, I'm a bit tired. And I can feel when it hits a really lovely, gorgeous, resonant buzzy point. And I can feel when it kind of falls back into where it shouldn't. So see if you can notice that. And actually, it does get more consistent the more you do it, which is why this work's so useful, because it has reasonably quick effects. Of course, you need to be doing it regularly, numerous times a day, if you want your body to hang on to those effects. Otherwise, they just hang around for a few minutes. Then the final bit is gliding up and down. And that's it, really. Well, that's step 1 in exploring straw phonation. We actually have a really brilliant handout on using straw phonation in spoken voice training in the Voice and Accent Hub group on Facebook, my wee community. So come on in and have a look for that if you're interested in more exercises. Aaron Boder of SOVT Straw gave us that. The link's in the bio. So have a little look. And remember, as a final little thing, bubbler, booking for the Ultimate Accent Toolkit course that's starting again soon. It closes this evening, being Monday the 31st of May 2021. If you're listening to this from the future, hello, what's it like there? Anyway, 9 p.m. this evening, UK time. So if you're interested in gaining the tools to be able to teach yourself accents at home and cultivate accents with more consistency and authenticity all by your little self, then pop to the booking page via the link in the show notes. And that's it from me. A bubbly bye-bye. Coming soon, resonance. So stay tuned, voice fan. Off I go to bubble into a gin and tonic. See, you can even do straw work when you're out in a club. I say out in a club like I've been to a club in the last 10 years. When you're in a local country pub. All right, see ya. Bubbles her way out of the booth. Oh, it does feel nice. Thanks for listening to the Voice Coach podcast. For even more support with your speaking voice, head on over to our free community, the Voice and Accent Hub on Facebook. See you in there.